The context of the Psalms is so important going into this tomorrow. It's understanding where David was. And you might relate to that. David was in the lowest of lows. At the time he was fleeing from King Solomon, his son was trying to murder him, so he had enemies everywhere, and he has been also overcome by feelings of guilt and shame over his many sins. But the thing that's so inspiring about David is that almost in every chapter that you go through, whether he's down in the deep, whether he's feeling the low of the lowest, he always comes out and praises God. Sometimes you know that's what you need to do, but you're just having a hard time doing it. And I think that what can really help us is accepting these emotions, that they're real, going through them in a biblical way, and then giving them up to God and seeing if God will do for you what He's always promised that He's going to do. So starting from tomorrow, I hope that you can join me if you're somebody who wants to sort of know and understand how to deal with those negative emotions. And I know a lot of people, and I've been there myself, where I try to deny this big and scary but really bad emotions that I feel like I'm not justified to be feeling because God's been good. Or that I'm depressed, but everybody's depressed. That's just the way that life is. And getting to a point where you're like, yeah, everybody gets depressed, everybody gets low, everybody suffers in some way. And sometimes it's grief, sometimes it is just pain that is not explained. Sometimes you are in a place in your life where you want to be somewhere else, and you're feeling the heaviness of the suffering that you've been experiencing. And though there's so much suffering in the world, you might feel there's no space for you to feel those feelings because somebody else has it worse. But the thing about it is affecting you. It's affecting your relationship with God. And while you might not have enemies like King Solomon trying to kill you, the enemy that we all share is coming for your happiness, is coming for your future, is coming for your joy, and is coming for your relationship with God. So if you don't address these emotions, they turn into something that the enemy can use. And what we don't understand is that when we push down certain emotions and one day it erupts, it might start with just feeling a little bit of rejection, right? You feel rejection and you want to make yourself feel good. You don't run to God, run away from God, but you're like, I know God's there, but right now I just need to deal with this the way that I know. You run to the things that you're not supposed to be in, and before you know it, the spirit of rejection comes in and brings in other spirits. The spirits of lust brings in spirits of resentment, brings in spirits of anger, and before you know it, your heart posture has been moved away from God. So maybe give this a chance, because my experience is that God has taken me from a place where I felt despair and I felt alone, and this process really helped me, and it's still helping me. I'm not saying it as somebody who's in and out of this. I started the year also feeling some kind of blues. And this is, for me, it was very confusing because I'm like, God, we were good. We were like, we are vibing. I've never been in a better place with God. Yet I still feel the loss of the things that, I had certain expectations in my life that haven't happened, and the loss of things and people. So you're grieving. But the point of this is that He turns your mourning to dancing. And sometimes you don't believe it. And you don't have to go into this believing it, but you have to try something and see if it will work. And maybe it works and you're just having a hard time getting to a place where you do it. I want to encourage you. Let's do this together. Say you're not feeling depressed, you're not feeling despair, you don't have the blues. But the thing about life is that there will always be ups and downs. And this is a good way to help you capture the tools that you need for when that time comes. And it also is a really good reminder of who's on your side, because every day we're going to go through scripture that takes you from a place that may not be the highest of highs, but it leaves you feeling confident in what God's doing in your life. It leaves you feeling confident in who God is to you and what He's gonna do. So let's focus on that.